Hey, good people. What's up? David Taub here, co-creator nextlevelguitar.com. Hope all is well. Hope your guitar journeys are going famously. And I hope you're enjoying this beautiful, wonderful instrument and creating beautiful music. What's up? We're going to continue with a lead series we're working on over a jam track. And I'm showing you some different techniques and devices and different tips on things like pedal tones and pedal licks. Watch the two previous lessons to learn all about that. We're jamming over a jam track, having a good time. Appreciate you checking out the lessons here. I'm going to show you a little device you could use today with an arpeggio and throw it into your playing and blast it all over, have a good time with it. And, you know, like I always say, I like teaching devices and things that you could use instead of just individual licks, only because, you know, you learn a handful of licks, what good is that? You know a few licks. You want to be able to take that lick and make it your own. You want to be able to turn it around, change the notes up. You want to be able to take a device or something that you're doing and play it in different ways and put your own spin on it and make it yours. Not just learn licks, but learn from the lick. And if you'd like a free video lesson that's not on YouTube and a coinciding ebook, right? I'll send it to you for free. The ebook is awesome. It contains all kinds of scale diagrams and chord charts. It's packed with killer lessons. It's a great reference manual. Just click in the YouTube description box. There's a link. Click on that link, follow the screens, and I will send you a free video lesson and a coinciding ebook, all from Next Level Guitar. So we're jamming over a jam track in the key of E minor, a real simple 2-chord vamp. The chords are just E minor to C suspended second. Like I always say, it's the chords that give you the roadmap to what you can use solo and improvisation wise. So you really want to study chords and the relationship between the sounds. It's all about the sounds between, you know, chords and scales and what notes, what scales you like over certain chords. So important, so important. I would not steer you wrong, good people. In this jam, we're using the E natural minor scale and E minor pentatonic and blues. So one of the scales that we'll be using over these tracks is going to be the E natural minor scale, which will be down here at the 7th fret root. This time we're going to use a minor 7 arpeggio with a twist that I want to show you. And it's one of my favorite arpeggios. I use it a lot. And it works over, you know, obviously we're in the key of E minor, so you could play it over both chords, but it really sounds good over the E minor chord because, you know, what's an arpeggio is just the notes of a chord played separately. And you heard me use it in the intro, right? I was playing. And it sounds really good because it spaces the notes out and it kind of outlines whatever chord. In this instance, I'm playing the notes in E minor 7 chord. So let me take you in on a tight shot and I'll show you the arpeggio and then I'll show you how we're going to change it up. Let's take a look at this E minor 7th arpeggio. It's just the notes in an E minor 7th chord, right? And the notes we're going to be playing is our E, it's our root, our flat 3rd is G, and then we're going to be playing our 5th, which is a B, and then our flat 7. In this instance, our flat 7 in the key of E is a D. And then the notes just repeat. Right? So it's E, G, B, D. And then you repeat them. E, G, B, D. So kind of get that down. Then your first finger can always find that by going to the root note. In this instance, E, because we want to play E minor 7th. So it's going to be on that 7th fret on the A string. And if you've seen my lessons before, you've seen me use that arpeggio many times. But now here's what I like to do with it. And remember, good arpeggio playing is it's not necessarily playing the arpeggios up and back, up and back, up and back, but kind of mixing it in with scales, creating melody within it, adding them to some scalar notes, breaking it up, you know, because that's kind of what it's all about, you know, mixing it all together, creating new sounds, not just playing minor triads or minor seventh chords up and down, up and down. A lot of guys do that. They'll just play minor triads, or, you know, up and down, up and down. And I don't know if that sounds musical enough, just that, you know. So that's why we like to add some melody to it, some different sounds to it, to make it more interesting sounding, so it's not just that predictable chord, right? But every now and then you could just slam one in there and sweep it and it sounds pretty cool. I wouldn't overdo it. But what I like to do with arpeggios, I like to add a note to it, and I like the 9th note or 2nd in the scale. In this instance, we're in the key of E, the 9th is an F sharp, right? So what I like to do is I like to get to the top of that arpeggio, slide up to it out of the arpeggio. So we're sliding from this 10th fret up to the 14th fret, right? 4 frets away. And any key you play this arpeggio, when you're on that high E string on that last note, 4 frets away will be the 9th in that particular key. It's the same, you know, shape. Not necessarily, don't think of it in terms of shapes, but it's the same shape. You're just moving it around, right? So, and then what I do is I like sliding up and back and then pulling off. That has that cool kind of Steve Vai, kind of Marty Friedman kind of sound when you slide up and back real quick. So you're just sliding, grabbing that F sharp, back to the D note, and then pulling off to the 1st finger, which in this instance on the 7th fret. Right? And then you just kind of work up the speed. And then what I like to do is I go down this natural minor scale, so I play this 8th and 7th fret, and I throw in a bend on the 7th fret up to the 8th fret, again that melodic half step bend. So once you kind of get the shape down, you work up the speed. And throw in maybe a little legato. All I'm doing there is I'm using this natural minor scale, ending on the E note, because that's where I'm resolving this to, right? We're in the key of E minor, so that's a great landing note. And it's a great little device that you could use to really spice this arpeggio up. And you don't even have to take it all the way from the top and down, unless you want to. You can even slide up from the high F sharp. Just be sure when you make that bend, you're bending it in pitch. We're bending this F sharp note up to the G. So you want to make sure that bend is in pitch, right? So mess around with it. Try throwing it in, you know, when you're jamming over this track or any track when you're in minor key, especially over a minor chord, minor 7, minor 9 chord, it sounds great. Even over an E power chord for you rock guys and gals. Have fun with it. Change the key. Try jamming in different tracks and using that arpeggio, but in a different key. Sliding off of it. Notice we're not just playing the arpeggio up and back. We're mixing it in with scale notes. We're throwing in slides. We're throwing in bends to make it more musical sounding. I get a lot of questions on gear, and for the lesson today I'm using an American-made Paul Reed Smith 513 guitar. Has all single coils. I'm mainly playing out of the back 2, which kind of you could wire together for a humbucker, and the front one, the neck pickup, and that's how I get the sounds out of the guitar. And as far as amps, I'm plugged straight into my Mesa Boogie Mark II tube amp, all tube. Plugged straight into the front of the amp, and the only thing as far as effects I have is just the delay pedal in the effects loop. And the delay is basically set for a couple of repeats. And that's it. That's all. It's a very simple setup that I use. The only other thing is the amp has some amp reverb, right? And so I have a little reverb, the delay, and the effects loop, and I'm plugged straight into the amp. I'm using the amp distortion. That's it. Very simple. And if I go to the back pickup, I get more of that screaming kind of lead sound. hope you enjoyed that. Have fun with it. Tune into the other parts of this series of lessons for more tips and soloing tricks and fun. All about the fun here. That's what guitar is about, right? Making beautiful music and having fun, enjoying yourself, enjoying this beautiful instrument. I'm David Taub, co-creator, Next Level Guitar. You're the good people. So appreciate your support over these many years. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube videos. Click on that subscribe button. We try to get all different types of content out to help people, all different levels, all different playing styles. And go to the website, nextlevelguitar.com. It's a full-on, hardcore, structured curriculum. All genres of music, all levels of player, beginner, intermediate, advanced, acoustic, electric. We got everything on there. It's massive. It's a massive collection, over 1,550 video lessons, long lessons. You know, here on YouTube, we're kind of constricted to shorter formats. There, we have full lessons. It's an incredible site. I've taught hundreds of thousands of students all over the world through that site, through our DVD products, right? So be sure and check it out. There's a 3-day free pass right on the homepage. Give the site a good test drive. I hope you like it, right? Hey, thanks again. Take care. Keep on rocking. Stay positive. Remember, your playing is an evolution. Okay? It takes time and patience. Keep practicing over jam tracks. Keep developing your ear. Keep on studying the relationship between chords and scales and listening for the notes, the sounds you like over certain chords and playing off of that. All right? Stay positive. Swing for the fences. I'll see you next time. Keep on rocking.